Kyle Mohan from Long Beach, California. We're out here with the Mazda Tricks GT Radial MX-5 2016 car, brand new, debuted it this season, running a 3-rotor at roughly 1,000 horsepower, and absolutely loving driving this car. For the past 5-6 years, we ran a Mazda RX-8 ever since 2009. Fantastic car, great suspension. Mazda's always helped us out. We're one of the only teams in North America that's actually supported by North American Mazda. We're really proud of that. Work closely with them. And you know, the season, or the series itself has really grown over the years. As we started to look at our RX-8 that we've been running, and looking at the cars like Osbo and Gucci, who are leading in points and doing really well. Mad Mike debuting his MX-5. It seemed like the series was making a transition from the bigger high horsepower cars to small high horsepower cars, kind of like back in the original drifting when the Corollas were so infamous. So we stood back and looked at it, and we decided we wanted to build the lightest new Mazda we could. And it just made sense to get one of these MX-5s, strip it down, and build it up with the most powerful motor we could, the strongest drivetrain we could, and like I said, basically the smallest car we could. And I was a little nervous debuting it at Long Beach and between those walls, but as soon as I got in this car, as soon as I took my first lap, I just fell in love with it, and it's been a great car. To be honest, you know, everybody always asks me which do I like more, the RX-8 or the MX-5, and I think for Formula D competitions, the MX-5 hands down because it's more competitive, but just as far as a fun car to drive, the RX-8 drift car was just a blast to drive. So everybody can rest assured I've still got the RX-8, and we'll bring it back out for some fun days soon. We're one of the few teams still in Formula D running a rotary motor, and if I'm correct, I believe we're the smallest displacement motor in the field, which is a 2-liter, 3-rotor 20B from Mazda Japan. These motors never came to the US, so at Mazda Tricks we import them from Japan over to the US, and they're actually pretty old motors, so they haven't been in production since the 90s. So it's kind of, we consider it an art form to take these older 3-rotor Mazda motors and completely rebuild them into these track monsters. Fully studded, balanced, blueprinted. The port design is one that I've designed myself over the past years of racing. And it's really become a passion for us at the shop to show everybody out there that, you know, displacement isn't the only way, that these small displacement motors, rotaries particularly, can not only keep up with all those big cars, but they'll outlast them too. This particular block we've been using in different forms for 3 seasons now. And so everybody's always saying rotaries aren't reliable, and I beg to differ. This thing's extremely reliable. You just need to take really good care of them, really watch the parameters of the tuning, and you know, you can't cheap out. It's not a motor that you can get away with that cheap component, or that, you know, I'll get that boost controller later and let it boost like a little. They're very, very finely tuned motors, but when they're done right, absolutely fantastic. And we've got all that horsepower on that 3-rotor. That Mazda Tricks motor made it up to XD double disc carbon clutch. Handles that power great. Love those clutches. Just wonderful out on track. Never have a problem with them sticking or slipping. It's all about those carbon discs. Drivetrain consists of a Jericho 4-speed, basically a NASCAR transmission, and a Winner's quick change. Same thing you'd find in like a sprint car. And that keeps it all you know, put to the ground through those GT radials, and just keep the right pedal down and keep the tires smoking out there. I just fell in love with the rotary motor. Something about a motor that just loves that high RPM abuse. Always a big fan of turbos. I loved watching anything turbo racing. And you know, I got partnered with Turbonetics, and that's just been amazing. We've been helping them R&D different impeller wheels, so we use this car and the RX-8 as a test bed. Gotta love that. And there was just something about the sound, you know, that Indy car, high-pitched, turbo, wastegate roar. And just to want to be different, you know, yeah, I'm an American, I love V8s, I grew up around hot rods, I've got a V8 car, but, you know, there's a lot of pride in taking a small displacement motor to its limits and making it last there, so absolutely love it. And, you know, fuel system, we've got 4 fuel pumps to feed this thing, radium surge can, fuel safe tank, it's the good thing. We were trying to figure it out the other day, and we've got a 240 amp alternator to run this car. And the car consists of 4 fuel pumps in a radium surge tank, 4 Mishimoto fans, 2 oil coolers, power steering cooler, intercooler, radiator, holds 3 gallons of oil, 5 gallons of water, and runs at about 30 pounds of boost and 1,000 horsepower. So it's not a bad setup. It's a lot of fun out there. And currently we're running this car on an Ignite ethanol, which was a big change for us. We've always run gasoline, but you know, we started looking into it. My wife's an environmental science major, works with the environment, and it just made sense. You know, ethanol is not only a cleaner burning fuel, but it costs us less and we're making more horsepower on it. So, you know, a lot of teams have switched out here and it just seems to be the way to go. So, really enjoying it. If anybody wants to check out what we're doing, Kyle Mohan Racing, we've got Kyle Mohan Racing Facebook, Modrift7 on Instagram, we've got a personal website, kylemohan.com, we've got a store, kylemohanracing.com, and I just started a product line with one of my good friends called Built to Apex. We're doing Mazda parts, doing Ford parts, Corvette parts, Mitsubishi parts, so check us out. If you got ideas, hit us up. We're happy to talk cars and design some sweet products.